Hello in the future to those watching or listening to this. We are recording this on the 1st of March, 2021, and we are about to find out the cast of Survivor Pandora Season 9. Oops, there's something on the screen.
Oh.
The logo doesn't look so cool when I pull it up like that. Heroes versus villains. Woo!
Woo!
Here, let me get that out of the way. Sorry.
Darn it, I didn't make it.
Classic Pandora. I know. So, spoiler alert, none of us are on it. There'd be no reason for me to be on it. But, that'd be a fun little, just throw in a random non-returning player. Like, she's a villain. Go.
Honestly, I don't think anyone would even know.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I've seen her on the stream. All right.
Yeah.
So
It could just be all about Mutgate, right? Like you.
Oh gosh. That episode is not.
It will never see the light of day.
It's never going to see the light
somehow,
of day.
it just got all scrambled. We couldn't actually post it.
It's a scramble gate. So we have been so excited about this cast reveal for like weeks, days leading up to this. Justin, we are so excited.
I am very excited. I think it's a great mix of some old school players who have never played in this format before, which would be really interesting to see.
You mean people from the mini ages?
Yeah, people from the mini ages. We have some people that have gotten really far but didn't quite clinch the win. We have probably some interesting choices, but I have reasoning for all of them. So there will be some surprises. And I always I like to have a good mix of people that are really hardcore gamers, some that are more maybe under the radar. I think at some point, right, probably as we get closer and closer to Winners at War, we'll want to do like a Legends or a really like hard-hitting, all the big strategists battle it out for one more spot to be a winner.
A real game changers one.
Yeah, like a game changer type idea. But this one has a little bit of all types of kind of the player archetype, which is really exciting. So I'm excited to see how it's going to play out. There's a lot of kind of interpersonal and past season drama and relationships that could be sorted out.
Oh no.
Which could be really interesting. So I think we should just get it started because I feel like I'm going to reveal something by the more I talk. So
wait, okay. So are we going alphabetically here? Season order? What are we doing here?
Well, we are going to start
or hero villain
with the heroes.
Okay, all right.
We're starting with heroes.
Of course we are.
All right, and of course we are because why would we? And so our first hero is Alicia.
Yay!
Yes.
Wow, the ultimate underdog right there.
Yeah,
she kept a secret. We didn't know that. Well, I didn't know that.
So Alicia is back playing back-to-back seasons, which is always pretty challenging. It's interesting. I think I peg Alicia as a hero because I think she's super loyal to Matt, even when she saw that ship going down. Like she's stuck with Matt and with Alex. I think she played pretty honestly from what I could see from a production standpoint. And she's kind of a bit more under the radar. I kind of went through all the cast and tried to attach them to actual heroes versus villains players. So in some ways, I think people might wonder why Alicia's here because she may not have done anything that super stood out. So she kind of reminds me of like a Candace. I know a lot of people question like, why was Candace in heroes versus villains, right? Even though Candace made that big mutiny move, which a lot of people would think of as either heroic or villainous.
Yeah,
I think there was question about that. But I think Alicia will be kind of a little bit more of that under the radar and really could go in a lot of directions where I feel like some people coming into this game are going to probably have one of two ways to go, either with past relationships they know or not. And I think Alicia will be a lot more of an open player in the game. So I'm excited to see kind of how, now that she has a season under her belt, kind of what she now does next.
I think she'll come into the game way more flexible. Yeah. I think, like you said, because I obviously showed herself as loyal. Like she's going to stick with her people, but that came to bite her in the butt. Well, you know what? She was trying to make alliances with other people, and then she got burnt real bad. Like she's going to come ready to play, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see kind of now that she's been burned a little bit, like what that does to change her gameplay.
And that was her first game.
Yeah.
And it always helps playing at least one.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to say too, is just like you kind of get that first one out of the way and you just kind of like play it out and see what happens. And then you tweak. So I'm excited to see her. I think that she's going to do really well.
Yeah. All right. Up next, our one and only 4-time player. We have Alan back in the mix.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh.
So Alan will be.
Yes.
This is the only person that this will be his 4th attempt. So he's kind of Boston
Robbed.
robbing it.
He was robbed from Blood versus Water, Mike.
Exactly.
Listen, I mean, at least I went on to win the game, so there's that. I like Alan. Alan's a great guy.
Alan is super, super likable, which is kind of what put him on the Heroes tribe. I think every game he's played, even though I think he's been strategic and plays a pretty strong social game, I think he's just very likable. I think he gets where he's been cut is mostly because people are like, he's too likable to take to the end. And he's just like a nice dude. Like I kind of equated him to Colby, but probably like a little more strategic than Colby kind of presents himself on the show. But like usually pretty good in challenges. Everybody really likes him. This will be his 4th attempt. This is his 2nd time really playing in this format. And he'll be playing obviously without Katie, which I think that really hurt him in Blood versus Water because they're seen as a very strategic duo and a strong power couple. So I think Alan on his own, it'll be really interesting to see in this format if on his own he's deemed as less of a threat or more of a threat. And he probably has he's one of the players that, because this will be his 4th time, he'll have the most amount of connections throughout the game. So that could again be seen as a threat.
Are you going to be saying like what season everyone is from?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So that could be a problem.
Yeah, it could be. I made it pretty clear that I'm going to try to keep everybody on somewhat of an even playing field. They obviously won't have seen each other's games, many of them, but at least to know like what seasons they've been on. So if they need to put out a murder board together of kind of who might know who and how that might affect the game, that they can do so. So, if in a real returnee season of Survivor, they likely would have seen everybody's games and they go in with a lot more information, right? So I want to try to balance it a little bit if I can, and I think that that's a fair way to do it. And so Alan could have a target on his back for being a 4th timer, but for Boston Rob, 4th time was the charm, right? So maybe it'll work out in his favor.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Alan play just like as a viewer because I really liked Alan. I did want to work with him. It was just the situation we were in. So I do believe that I robbed him, but at the same time, like it was because of those social connections that he knew he could make. So that was threatening to me. So I'm hoping to see kind of a twist and see people use it to their advantage, that Alan is connected and bring him farther into the game.
Can you just make the 347 like smaller? Just like don't let just like a little, put an asterisk somewhere. Like it's not that big of a deal, guys.
Not a big deal. Not a big deal. And what's interesting is he's kind of seen all spectrum. So the entire spectrum. He was obviously pre-jury in Blood versus Water, thanks to Mike. He was he made it was pre-merge even. He was pre-merge. He made the merge in his first season, but didn't make the jury, and then he made the jury in season 4, and he was like, I think he was 4th place, 3rd or 4th place. So he's kind of seen pre-merge, kind of early merge, and he's seen late merge, right? So I think he's seen all facets, and I think maybe the 4th time is the charm for him. Up next, one of Travis's good buddies, Allison is back.
Season 1 queen.
And we have a little content from Allison, so let's hear her approach to the season.
Oh my God, yes.
Allison here. 3rd time's a charm. I don't know about that, but we'll see. I am extremely nervous for this one. Be that it's over the course of 4 weeks. My anxiety last time went crazy. So obviously I want to do well. But if I'm out week 1 or week 2, I think my heart will be thankful for that. Okay, so I really hope that my boy Zach is brought back because we've been together since our first season. And I also really hope that maybe there's a villain that I know or hit it off with and we can team up together because I feel like that would be cool. Other than that, there will only be a few people that I do know or trust. So I am going to be a Facebook messaging queen and talking to as many people as I feel necessary. And Yeah, I know that everybody coming back is going to be an intense Survivor super fan, and I love the game. I feel like I got a good handle on it, but I have to admit, I am not a crazy super fan. I have not seen all the seasons. I do not know all the players, so hopefully that doesn't play against me in any trivia challenges or whatnot. Yeah, and my downfall last time was going out with a hidden immunity idol, so very silly. And that will not happen again. If I get any advantage, I am using it at the time because, yes, I need to think long game, but in order to get farther, I need to make it past the current step. So I've learned my lesson. Don't worry. Yeah, I'm really, really nervous and excited, and it's going to be different now that I'm not just in quarantine. Like, I'm working every day, and so I like I said, I hope this doesn't consume my mind and my heart, but it's going to be fun. And whatever you have planned for us next, Justin, thank you again for lending us your crazy mind. I'm ready. Heroes versus villains. Bring it on. Woo!
Do they know what tribe they're on already? Like, do they know they're a hero or a villain?
So I think that they do, but some people in their videos you'll see will say, "I don't know if I'm a hero or a villain."
Mm-hmm.
So some of them I think will probably learn the first time, for the first time when they get into the game.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that just summed up Allison perfectly, didn't it?
Yeah,
so
Allison's such a likable person. Like she, again, another reason to be a hero, super likable. She does play a fairly loyal game from what I could see from the outside. Travis played with her, so he could probably attest better. I kind of see her almost like a Sirius type player. Like she is strategic. She's very likable. So I'm not sure if people will ever let her get to the end because she's one of those people that like if you let her get to the end, she's probably going to win just because everyone likes her so much.
That's season 1. I really think if I brought her to the end, because it was me, her, and Zach were the final 3, and I brought Zach instead of bringing Allison, and I think she would have beat me hands down.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see her play again. I'm excited to see her play in this new format again. She's not played in the week by week format before, so that could change things for a social player like her and for someone that's likable. I think that kind of does help. But she also kind of reminds me, not even with the naming, but like of kind of Allie Plotnicki from this past season too, right? She's going to be pretty strong in challenges. She's probably going to know what to do with advantages and that kind of stuff. But is she too good to get to the end? I think is the big question. But definitely, as I look back, like she was one I had to get for this season. She's just such a good person, and like I think it exemplifies in the framework of Pandora, like what a hero kind of is. So I'm really excited to have her back.
Yay.
Went out with the idol in a Big Brother round, Allison. What were you thinking?
Oh no!
When there's a Big Brother round, she's going to be like so anxious.
If there's a Big Brother,
if we didn't have,
I know we didn't have one last season.
I know. I got to mix it up.
Yeah, it was great.
Up next, if she wasn't going to be there, it wouldn't have been heroes versus villains. Some people will question if she's on the right tribe. We have Chanel back from season 5.
Wait.
What?
On the hero tribe.
I think I disagree.
So here's the thing. So here we go. Right. So Chanel
also, first off, so excited for this.
Oh, excited.
I don't want to act like I'm like this is amazing. This is amazing.
She is an amazing player. I think depending on who you are in season 5, you probably have a different opinion of Chanel. But at the end of the day, like, and we talked about it a little bit. We did talk about what tribe she thinks she would be on, and I did agree. Like, she played very loyally. She was loyal to Becca and brought her all the way to the end. Now, I think she did think she could beat Becca, which is one of the reasons why she brought her to the end. But I think, in her confessionals, she was very strategic, pretty ruthless, like had control over the game. But in the game, like people trusted her. And, she, from my perspective, I don't think she didn't turn her back on that many people. And so for that, I see the hero angle. And, everybody loves a strong Black woman who's playing hard, loves the game. And I think, playing strategically isn't always playing villainously, I guess, is kind of my thought there. and I didn't see her like cutting a lot of deals and stabbing a lot of people in the back. So from my angle, I think she's a hero. I think she's super fun and super dynamic, and I'm excited to see kind of what she brings to this tribe, and how that dynamic plays with those who might be on the villains tribe.
Maybe like an Amanda Kimmel.
Yeah, yep.
Amanda wasn't like a true hero at Micronesia, but or China, but she was still a hero.
That's exactly what I put.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Said she was great strategically, but I think if we're being honest, like her final tribal council is what did her in, right? I think. And that's the same with Amanda, right? She couldn't really articulate the game in a way and didn't read the room right to see what the people wanted on the jury to hear. So I think she's very strategic, much like Amanda, I think was very strategic in China. Amanda after China was boring to me, but in China, she was super strategic, but couldn't lock it in at final tribal council. So I do see Amanda kind of within Chanel, kind of being one of those dominant players, being pretty good with challenges and that kind of stuff. So I'm really excited to see what she brings to the table, and especially with some of the other strategic powerhouses like Alan, like Allison on the tribe. I think there's going to be a lot.
Alicia's on the same tribe. That because Alicia's roommates with Becca, and Becca beat Chanel.
Yeah,
in the final
so that could be an interesting dynamic. You also know that Katie, who is Alan's wife, played with Chanel.
Oh my god.
So there's that dynamic.
Wow.
So I did talk to Katie and I said, no matter what your opinions are, people from your season, try to bite your tongue and let Alan play his game, and try not to interfere at all. And she said she was going to do her best. There's a lot.
Katie's going to try her best.
There's a lot of interpersonal connections here that I have no idea how they're going to play out. And
I live for it.
Yeah, it'll be really, really interesting. All right, we have so I want to keep going.
She's
up next, also from season 5, all the way from across the pond, we have Gary.
Gary!
Yay.
Mike, I wish you were there for season 5.
I know. I'm excited to get to know these people, though.
Yeah, and Gary is actually playing from the UK this time.
Okay.
So last time he was in Minnesota, Wisconsin, somewhere in the Midwest, living in the States, but he actually lives permanently in the UK. But during the first part of the pandemic, he was still here, so he was playing in this time zone. But now he literally is going to be playing at 1 a.m.
Oh no,
which will be crazy.
Let's go.
So he's I'm so excited. So Gary is another one, super super likable. He's British, so or Scottish, so he has that accent that just makes everybody love him immediately. He's a really good guy. I think again he was chopped at the Double Tribal Council in his season. And I think again it's for being too likable. I think everyone saw him and Katie as the leaders of the alliance that they were in. So again, that's another connection that Gary has with Alan. With Katie in the middle. Obviously, Gary and Chanel were on opposite alliances in their season. So a lot of interesting dynamics there. But I love Gary. He's I think he's a really, in my mind, he's just really likable, a really nice guy, and that puts him on the hero tribe for me.
Definitely.
I'm kind of so I put him as kind of like the Rupert. Everyone really loves him. Maybe he's not as strategic as some of the other players, but is pretty loyal. Knows the strategy well enough to kind of go where it needs to go. But I don't know if he's necessarily dominant strategically. I don't know if he's going to be running any alliances, but I think he'll be a loyal member of the alliance. Everyone really like him. He'll probably be seen as a threat because he's so likable. So I kind of have him in that kind of Rupert bucket of just kind of being that really likable guy that will probably be
Scottish
a part of
Rupert.
Scottish Rupert.
I hope he wears tie-dye.
All right, you've been waiting for it. You've all been wondering. Here he is.
Please.
Joe is back.
Oh, yay.
I'm wearing my buff for him. Woo!
Let's
go,
see what Joe has to say.
Oh.
I cannot believe I'm filming a confessional for Survivor for us. Villains, this is crazy. I've been pinching myself for weeks. There's been people that I really wanted to tell that I was playing again. Sorry about that. But surprise, I'm back. I'm excited. Let's do this. It's honestly an honor to be asked back, which I know is kind of a weird thing to say, but being sort of newer to this reality game world, I guess I made a little bit of an impact on season 6 to warrant and ask back for season 9. But I'm ready to go. I'm really excited. I had such a fun time the first time. You know, Tuesday is not day 1 for me. It's day 22. Everything that I learned from season 6, I'm going to bring into season 9. You know, season 6, I didn't have a lot of confidence in myself. I went into it more just because the pandemic was going on and I was out of work. So I had a ton of free time. But as the game progressed, my confidence grew. And going into the final episode, I was like, wait a second, I think I can do this. I think I can get to the end and win. And I got to the end, but unfortunately lost by 1 vote to a really great player. But that's not going to happen this time. I think one of the mistakes I made the first time around was at the merge. There was 4 or 5 people I was just not able to connect with. And, you know, it was some of them just weren't playing super hard, so they weren't talking a lot, or, you know, others were sort of just set in their alliances and I just wasn't able to break into that. But Heroes versus Villains is a returning season. I think everyone's going to be playing super hard. So when I make it to the merge, I think I'll be able to make a little bit more connections than my last time around. And that'll set me up better when I'm sitting at the end. My Spidey senses were really in tune the first time I played. So I'm going to be bringing that into season 9. You know, on Tuesday when the game starts, I want to make sure I assemble Pandora's mightiest heroes and have a really good alliance going and find my ride or die. I haven't been doing a ton of speculating or planning for this. It's more just been mentally preparing to get myself back into survivor mode. But I'm really excited to see who's going to be on the cast. We know Pandora's box is going to come into play, so I'm always willing to open that. And yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to see this through to the end. You know, we know the saying, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And I don't plan on dying in this game. You know, even if it wasn't Heroes versus Villains, we've all played this before. You know, we're going to make moves that are going to upset some people, but every move that I make is intentional, right? The goal is to get to the end and win. And, you know, any move that I make is going to be to satisfy that goal. So, you know, I'm ready to play. I'm ready to do this. I know I have what it takes, and I'm really excited to get another chance at this. Like, this is my redemption story. Like, I missed it by such a little margin last time, and this time that is not going to happen again. So I'm sure there's going to be tons of jaw-dropping moments this season. We know Justin loves his twists, but I'm ready for it. I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to jump back into another season, and I can't wait to see how it turns out.
Let's go!
I cannot.
So we have Joe. I think as I assess the cast as a whole, I think Joe is in a really, really good spot. I think, again, he's super likable. I think people are going to want to work with him just based on who he is and kind of the energy that he exudes. That's kind of why I wanted him to come back as a hero. I think he again just has that great energy. He fought from the bottom in his last season. He kind of made his way through. You know, and he was kind of an underdog, which was interesting. He kind of started out the season being on the dominant tribe, and it very quickly turned where he was then fighting from the bottom and and had to be an underdog. So I think that is a kind of a good hero story, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see him come back and do it again.
I'm so excited to see him play. So he's got to see me play. We've played together. So now I get to watch him. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see him win this game. It's going to be, I think he's in a good spot.
Yeah.
I think like so far from what we've seen, there aren't a lot of season 6 people. I'm sure that's going to change, but I think he could easily. Yeah, I'm excited.
He has the advantage of at least with season 6, season 7 and 8. Watching everyone play, it could be like Alicia. I could see him immediately reaching out to Alicia, knowing she's loyal.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Knowing how much we've talked about her, like he's got that advantage.
Yeah, he definitely will have a little bit of an advantage being on the stream team.
Yeah,
and that's one of the reasons we took down the stream team videos for now, is because we don't want to hurt anybody's chances. Whether it's people watching the games that have been recorded. Or it's people that are on the stream team commenting and talking about, you know, different strategies and things like that could make you a threat as well. It's so funny. Like, Joe is already playing the game. He timed when he was sending his confessional to be at 9:00 because of season 9. And he wanted to do it on the 27th because 2 + 7 = 9. Like, he is already thinking,
wow,
crazy.
Good for him.
Yeah.
And I was like, sorry, Joe, that doesn't do anything. But yeah, really excited for Joe. Which very nicely ties into our next player on the Heroes Tribe, which is John.
Oh!
You are kidding me.
Season 6 winner.
You
Can I just say, wait, I just want to say,
kidding.
like, if a winner wins this, Justin, you have to add another season to your Winners at War like lineup.
You did not. He just freaking
Alright.
won a Big Brother game, and he's gonna come play Pandora again.
Yep. Here, let's
Yep.
listen to what John has to say.
Oh,
Hello, Justin and the rest of the production crew. I'm back. Back from season 6. I am so excited to be asked back for Heroes versus Villains. This is going to be so fun. I did have some hesitations about coming back so soon because, I feel like I have a huge target on my back, being a previous winner in a returning players season. But I have to hope that I'm not the only returning winner this time around. Going into this season, I really don't see myself changing up my gameplay too much because it got me the win last time, and I don't really want to.
Oh, what did I do? Did I pause it?
Do anything too crazy.
I won't touch it.
Early on, I'm going to find someone who could be this season's Joe for me. So that I feel like I can trust.
It won't be very hard.
I have no idea who to expect. Just find someone that I think I can connect with early on in the game and make sure that I start to build relationships outside of that one individual to make sure that I continue to play a strong social game, but ultimately stay loyal to whoever I get the best vibe from. And yeah, I think something I want to change this time around is like if I have an idol and there's any indication that might suggest I might be getting votes to use it. Getting idled out was not fun in season 6, but luckily for Pandora's Island, I got to come back. So I think I'll have a better idea of when to use an idol this time around. And yeah, I intend to just do well in comps again, play a strong social game, and try not to become too much of a threat in the beginning because I know that people will be extra aware that I won. But I'm going to try my best, and I'm excited. And I feel like I have a huge target on my back, so my expectations are not too high, but I'm going to stay positive, and I'm excited to be back.
Yeah, cut off a little bit, but that's Joe. That's John.
Hello.
Go to the next slide, please. All right. So yeah, John.
That's going to be interesting.
I think it'll be really interesting. I think he's like, when I was kind of equating him to the Heroes versus Villains cast, like he's kind of a mix of, I think, JT and Tom coming back to Heroes versus Villains, right? He's a winner, super likable, pretty good in challenges, pretty strategic. I think, either one of those guys you could kind of compare him to. And being a returning winner definitely puts a target on your back. You saw that in previous Heroes versus Villains as well, especially on the Heroes side. So I'm interested to see that dynamic, especially, if and when he, is able to work with Joe or not work with Joe. And
yeah, this is already stressing me out because I feel like Joe needs to distance himself from John. Like they can't work together.
Well, that's the question. Like, do you work with people from your season or not? Right? Do you? Because then you're attaching yourself to a star that you may not want to. Right? Like, I think there will be some people coming in, especially if it didn't work out well for them the first time, that says, "Hey, I want nothing to do with my season people. Like, I'm, going to change."
Oh, they are totally working. They're totally working together.
We'll see. Because there's another complicated layer for John.
Oh
no!
Oh my god!
So yeah,
wait, another robbed queen that I robbed! Yay!
No one's allowed to go home.
Really excited. Took a little convincing to get Leanne to come back.
Yay!
But really excited, and we should hear what she has to say.
I could cry.
I can't say that I'm ready to play this game again, particularly Heroes villains where everyone has played the game before. Last time I played, I really played, and so had a few others. They had never played. I didn't know what I was doing, and now
Why am I crying? I'm so excited.
In so many of the immunity challenges, you're lucky, not necessarily.
I love her so much.
Luck holds out, and I can find like a Thelma and Louise to go with me.
Yes.
Maybe I'm gonna want like a Bonnie and Clyde on my side at some point when we get to the merge, and I hope I get to the merge. I think that the first night is going to be the hardest because, people target for different reasons, and I wouldn't be surprised if I was a target, but I have to find some quick alliances and hope that those alliances stay true to me and believe that I will stay true to them. And I will stay true to not all of them, but I'll stay true to most of them. Trying to figure out who's gonna stick with you. I think I'll be a little more reckless this time. I don't know what that means, but maybe try and rock the boat if I can stay in the game long enough to do that. And I hope it's fun. I mean, I'll just hope things go my way, and I don't know what makes a hero and what makes a villain. All of us, have the yin and the yang and the dark and the light side. So it should be fun finding out.
Oh. Are we going to see Dark Leanne?
Yes.
We might see some Dark Leanne. So really excited we got Leanne to come back. She was a little hesitant. I think she really did play the first time because she was playing with Trey, and like she knew how much he loved it. It was important to him. But I think seeing her on her own would be really interesting because obviously she made the big idol play first tribal last game, right? So that kind of thrust her into the spotlight a lot. But I even think even without that, being attached to someone like Trey, who is such a gamer, who is one of those bigger personalities in the game, like it definitely puts a target on her back, or put a target on her back in that game, right? So playing without him, again, I think she said it perfectly. She's going to get probably targeted for one reason or another, maybe because she's a little bit older, maybe because she is somewhat of a legend already, even just only playing one season. So I think it could be really interesting to see, how it plays out without Trey in the mix.
Yeah, but she's got John and Joe. She's not going anywhere.
Oh my gosh. But if people put 2 and 2 together and put the 3 of them together,
it's just going to take one other season 6 person to call out John and Joe.
Yeah, right.
Which I'm sure we have coming.
With that, let's move along.
Oh my gosh, I am just shocked.
I'm so excited to see
Why
Leanne.
didn't you tell me so I could have got my t-shirts ready, Justin? I could have got the press going. Dang it.
So up next, another old schooler, which I'm excited about. Someone who hasn't played the new format before. Super, super likable guy. We have Lucas coming back from season 2 and season 4. Lucas, again, just a really nice guy, super likable. He actually, when he played Second Chances, he worked with his friends to get, he said basically every round I stay in, donate money, and then he donated it all to charity.
That guy. Yes, that was awesome.
And then Matt Jacobson, who won that season, donated all of his winnings to the charity as well. But it was all through Lucas. So Lucas, again, super, just really likable. I was kind of looking through the cast again, probably kind of a Colby-ish type, maybe, where he's like really likable. But again, I don't know if he's as dominant on the strategy side. I feel like he was a part of a lot of alliances, but I didn't necessarily think he was running them. I don't know. But I'm really interested to see him play in this format. I'm really interested to see. I mean, he hasn't played since 4, which was like last,
June?
June? Yeah. So, it's been a long time. And I think he actually said he organized a couple of orgs with his friends, just like a friends game. So I think, it'll be really interesting to see him kind of back in the mix. It'll be interesting to see how his interactions are with people like Allison and Alan, who he knows from Second Chances. I did look through like the voting charts, and it didn't really seem like any of the 3 of them were really working together, but will they, because they at least know each other, will they take advantage of that.
Yeah.
I think that could be really interesting.
Oh, totally.
I don't have any videos for Lucas.
You know what I'm noticing is we're going to have a 24-person cast, aren't we?
Travis, why do you gotta do things like that to me? Just enjoy the ride, Travis.
I'm noticing and I'm getting
I was like, oh no, there's 12 people on this tribe. I only have 10 spots.
Miss Oblivious over here is like,
right.
what's going on?
Up next, a fan favorite.
Oh no.
Hannah, hold on to your pants.
Stop.
We have Matt back.
Matt P, let's go.
Matt P is here in the house. Matt P is being a crazy person and playing 2 orgs at once because he's also part of the attendance cast. So we'll see how that plays. He basically said like he couldn't turn down the opportunity to play again, which I really appreciate the value.
Yeah.
And he, again, just another super, super likable guy. You know, where I see him is almost kind of JT-ish without the winning attribute, without the winner tag on him, because he got caught, as JT did in Heroes versus Villains. Matt kind of got caught between 2 big alliances, right? And kind of had to start making decisions, which revealed his cards pretty quickly. And he in season 6, I think, you know, it'd be really interesting to see his dynamic with people like Joe and John, who, you know, he worked with them and then they cut him before the finals, right? So it'll be interesting to see how that dynamic goes. I know John said to me personally he was nervous about seeing people like Matt in the game.
I think there might be like, I think it's one of those like residual like bad blood, like not like there's bad blood, but I think there's that like ugh.
But we love Matt. Like Matt's such a fun player to watch. He's so smooth. I think that like when I think about his gameplay, like he's so smooth. I remember in season 6, like everybody wanted to work with Matt. Like everybody was talking in their confessionals about like Matt being the guy, which is a great position to be in a lot of ways, but it also like burns you when you start having to make decisions and cutting people. So yeah, really excited.
Mike, you've watched Sequester, right? Have you ever seen a game that Matt's played?
Yeah, I've seen Matt a couple of times.
Okay,
he's very charismatic. He does connect with people very quickly and very easily. So I'm interested to kind of see like the dynamic between Joe and John and him. Yeah. But at the same time, like I think he can easily sweep up a lot of the other people just to kind of like follow him through to the merge.
Yeah.
All right, we ready? So next, another robbed queen fought her way back into the game only to get dragged the second time. We have Megan.
Yes. Let's go. I forgot she got dragged
twice.
2 times.
So, Mike, I don't know if you've heard this story, but Megan, second chances, got dragged out, fought her way back in, and then got dragged out again.
I feel like this is like an iconic story. Like I think we've talked about it a couple of times. I do my best to hold my composure, but that is a moment my jaw dropped and I let out like a noise because I couldn't believe it happened. So I love Megan. Megan's actually on my softball team. She's such a great girl and has been obsessed with Survivor in the past year ever since she played in the beginning. She's watched, I think, almost every season at this point. She's awesome. And I'm really interested to see her play in this new format where I feel like actually those weeks of time are going to really benefit players like her who are not as flashy and need that time to build those relationships and maybe aren't as extroverted as some of the other players. So I'm really interested to see how kind of she works into the mix.
Oh, I like all these second chancers playing in there. That's good for not being, in the new format. This is right. They got each other.
And then, last but not least, on our Heroes tribe,
I can't handle this anymore. This is too much.
Another icon of the game. We have Susan back from season 6.
Oh my gosh!
Susan is a comp beast. She won Realfoot in the live game community. In season 6, she was voted out and fought her way back in as well.
Wow.
And definitely is seen as a giant threat. So we're really interested to see
she's
her
gonna mess
dynamic
stuff up.
Yep.
She's gonna come out swinging because when oh my gosh,
it kind of reminds me of almost like a Stephanie, right? Like a kind of a challenge beast. I think she will like blow shit up. And so I think Stephanie's got like that little firecracker personality. I think Susan's got it too. It's a little more subtle than Stephanie's. Like Stephanie's a little bit more aggressive with it. but Susan's got that fire in her, and I think it could be really interesting to see, especially the season 6 dynamic, because Joe and Susan were on the same tribe. Does that mean that they'll work together or not? They all kind of like cut her out at kind of early merge. So, is that something that she works with or doesn't work with, right? It's one of those questions. So
oh my god,
someone's going to be the first one voted out of this tribe.
I know. Can we wait till tomorrow to talk about that?
12 heroes of Heroes versus Villains. We have a whole nother set of people to talk about. I have a lot more videos on the villain side, so we should move.
Okay, we'll go
villains love the
quickly.
spotlight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Justin, I just can't.
These are the heroes. I'm really, really excited. I think there's so many ways that this could go, and I think I'm really excited to see like who connects with who and where we head. But now it is time to go to the dark side with our villains.
My favorite side.
Again, I think one thing I will say probably on the premiere episode too is like, of course, no one here is like truly a villain. I don't think, right? Like everyone's here to have fun and be good people and have a good time. But I think there are some elements that, if you get caught in a lot of lies or you're kind of a chaotic player, those types of things can be seen as villainous, even though, in some ways they are also strategic. So, they're obviously labeled the villains, but I think all these people are actually really good people. I wouldn't bring them back if I didn't think that they were good people at the end. So just little asterisk on the villains. But how in the world could we have a Heroes versus Villains without the most chaotic player to ever walk through Pandora's Gate?
Hell yeah.
We have Amanda. Yes! And Mike, I did share this with a couple people, but I don't think you've seen it. There is quite the epic video for us to watch.
Oh, I'm excited.
I love her so much.
Amanda's Survivor Pandora game.
Oh no.
And she, I think, is your out of the ones that I've played with, your biggest candidate for a chaos agent.
Amanda's just thrusting pasta at the wall to see throwing pasta against the wall to see what will stick.
Your idol and you'd like to play it, now would be the time to do so.
Hello. Yeah, I do have an idol. I got it from Pandora's Box. It's a real shame because you guys are going after like the little people while there's Leanne saying they're pretty, Trey sitting there pretty. You're all saying they're and threats are banding together right now. And I really don't understand why, because we're here on the bottom. So
Mike, look at you.
Meanwhile, we're voting Trey out in this exact tribal council.
I want to play it on myself.
Amanda. She's just blowing up everyone. And I don't appreciate that.
Milo? Wish me luck.
So the two people with the most votes are Amanda and Emma. I'm sorry, but the tribe was spoken.
So, I'm here for round 3. Bring it on. My plan is that I am going to well, I think I need to have some sort of plan. The plan would be to just lay low and see what happens from there. I really don't know who's gonna be there. I'm nervous. I don't know, and I just know I can't play the way I usually do. I have to be so calm. I am not a calm person.
No.
Calm, and that's what's really scary. And
she's self-aware.
Amanda's a chaos agent, but I can't be a chaos agent. But if I am in the bottom, I will be a chaos agent. So I might find some time to impress, the viewers out there or whatever. I'll stir the pot.
Yes.
I'll manage to, add my flavor to the game. But overall, I don't have too much of a game plan. Just lay low until the merge, and I want to see this game as a tree. Plant my roots pre-merge and swap, and then as the merge comes, grow into a big tree. That's my plan. So I'll call it my tree plan. So if any of y'all, if I want to sum my plan, it's called a tree plan. I grow roots and I grow into a big tree. That's my plan. Tree plan. That's all I got. Not sure. Just nervous.
It did cut off a little bit.
Oh, I thought there was more tree plan.
Tree plan.
I am obsessed with the tree plan. It's good to see her.
It's so much fun to have in these
The
games.
best.
She will blow things up. She says what's on her mind.
Yep.
She kind of reminds me of kind of like a Danielle or a Sandra, kind of like will just say what's ever on her mind, throw shit in the air, stir up the pot wherever she can. You know, tends to be a little bit more like a dominant player. Does actually pretty good in challenges. You know, kind of like Danielle-ish. I kind of see Danielle as a little bit of a chaotic player, very emotional. You know, and I think Amanda can sometimes be a little bit emotional. You know, so but it's like I just couldn't imagine. There was a brief moment where she was like, "I'm not sure if I can do it." She actually is traveling the 3rd episode, so she's going to try to do it from her hotel room. And so we're like, fingers crossed it all goes well. Because I just couldn't imagine this season without her in the mix.
Like a tree.
Like a tree.
Like a tree.
We've already got our first T-shirt.
Oh my gosh, tree plan.
Tree plan.
Wow. Up next, another old schooler, and you know, well, we'll just reveal. So it is Ashley from seasons 1 and 4. Now, Ashley, I'm not even gonna say it. I'm just gonna play her video. We'll play the video.
Yes. Oh, sit down.
I'm sitting.
Season 9 thoughts. Guys, I am in over my head on this one. I have been cast as a villain, and I think I've been unfairly cast. The one time I make a crazy move by dragging someone out who had just gotten back in the game, I'm seen as a villain. Guys,
She dragged Megan?
I don't have any strategy. I don't win any competitions. I am the competitive person that will play this game. I'm not going to do well. I was hoping that I can fly under the radar for most of this game and just like not seen as a threat. And I'm hoping I get in a good place with the other team, the heroes, because I am super gullible and I don't trust anyone on the villain team. I also hope to God that Megan, the girl I dragged last time, and cast as a villain, isn't on the season, but no, she totally is. I'm sorry, Megan. I did too. I did. But it was fun.
So that is Ashley.
Love Ashley. Season 1, yes.
I'm excited to watch her. She sounds like fun.
She is so fun. She is, and that's truly her. Like, she's very authentic. She's just like super fun and playful. And you know, I talked to her a little bit about it, and she said her 2 thoughts when she had the drag power was to either drag Megan, kind of the bitchy move, right? Like of kind of dragging the person that just went out, doing something that would be iconic. And her other thought was that the only other person I probably would have dragged would have been Matt Jacobson, who went on to win the game. So, you know, she's like, I knew how powerful he was, and I knew that he could potentially win, and I almost just pulled him. Just, you know, so that would have changed the entire course of the game. It would have been so interesting to see that. So I actually think like she's a little bit of a dark horse because, like she said, like she's gonna fly under the radar, I think, and it's gonna go one of 2 ways. Either people will be like, she's too under the radar, let's just get rid of her, or like all the big threats are going to go after each other and she'll kind of be able to sneak through. I think those are kind of the 2 scenarios. She kind of reminds me a little bit of like a Courtney from Universal, right? Like she is a little sassy. She says these funny things, not super strategic, but will be a loyal alliance member. And, you know, probably doesn't have as much attitude or as much feistiness as Courtney, but kind of a similar vibe.
I remember for touchy subjects, the question was, who would you want to meet most out of this game? And I put Ashley.
Yeah, I want to.
She is the best. She's
so
the best. We
funny.
had dinner this weekend. She's so fun. And I think she'll be a fun player. And I'm so excited to see like if and when she ever cross paths with Megan, like what that's like. And, you know,
She gets with Allison too. That'd be good for her.
Yep, could be.
Oh my gosh.
So up next we have kind of a controversial choice. I'm already hearing controversy around it. It is from last season. And it is Christina.
Yay!
Ooh.
Don't know why she's the villain, but yay!
Yeah, so
Let's go, Christina.
So with Christina, the reason I tagged her as a villain is because she turned on Karen when she didn't need to. She was in the majority. She cut one of her alliance members when they were in the numbers. And she also let Tony go. So from what I could see from a production standpoint, Tony was trying to rally the votes to get it off of him. And Darius and Christina basically said, nope, we're not going to do that, and voted elsewhere, so that Tony kind of got screwed. If they had voted with Tony, they could have saved him, but they didn't. And I think they did that by choice. I think they saw what a chaotic player Tony was, and they decided to kind of let it happen if it was going to happen. So it's probably it's an under the radar villainy type choice. Again, I think there's so many big dynamic personalities that I wanted.
Look at that smile. I mean, I don't know. I feel like on the stream, she was always just like smirking.
Yeah.
Like you just knew she was up to stuff.
Kind of call people shit out a little bit during Final Tribal too. Like I think she's got a little bit of fire inside of her.
Oh yeah.
Interesting kind of back roots relationships is that Christina and Amanda have both played on another org together, Corey Tugwell's org. I did ask Corey like how close they are. He said that they were on separate tribes. He doesn't really think they even really work together very much. But again, it's a commonality that might, you find any ways to bond. So it might be one of those things like, hey, we both know Corey, we both played the org, like let's work together. If that opportunity presents itself. So
winning sisters.
But they made their app
Yeah.
much better.
All right, let me pull.
I love your mom.
I'm on mute.
All right, up next, you know her, you love her. Christine is back in the game.
A villain?
I'm so excited.
What?
A villain.
What?
Definitely.
Christine's video, as you might expect, is quite long, so we will we'll watch that.
Oh my gosh!
Hear what she has to say.
Hi, Justin. Here's your video. And hi, Hannah and Travis.
Hey, Christine.
Probably, not a surprise, I'm guessing, based on the dialogue in the group that I'm not part of. So I'm trying to do a confessional here. And the first thing is, am I really a villain? Really? It's a bit of a stretch. So my first act of villainry is I'm making a portrait or vertical confessional video. No, he hates those, right, Dustin? Landscape. So my first act of villainry. Come up with something more clever for the rest. I can't believe I'm doing this again. This is crazy. But it's been fun to watch.
Oh, sorry. I clicked something again.
Not that I've been as active as everybody else has been, production or whatever. And that's what I'm scared of, that I haven't been paying nearly as much attention, and I am going to be blindsided by obvious things I should know. So I'm hoping that this goes a little old school, which is crazy to say old school, but like, some of the things we were doing like almost a year ago, I guess, when you did the first round of Quarantine Quarrel, the precursor to Pandora. So I've been trying to think about who might be in the game. I know you're trying to spread people across the seasons, and really there's like two people I'm just terrified of that might be in the game. The one is Will.
Yeah.
I think I traumatized him so much from that first game. Like,
yeah.
I really do. He's done great in games since, but I really think I traumatized him, and I'm scared to see him in the game.
Yeah.
But first, I am terrified to see Susan in this game. Because we just went for her in this Big Brother Hogwarts game I was just in. And so I am a little nervous. We'll see how that goes. I'm really nervous. Okay, so I'm trying to think about who might be in the cast, and really, if I'm the one who's watching the game, I don't know what that is. If I'm the one watching the game,
I was like, what is that?
Flo and Chanel, I want to see those two, big time.
Me too.
So bring it on, because if there's enough chaos and past bad blood going on elsewhere, people won't even pay attention to me. And since this is now a 1 day a week format and not the way it was before, It'll be interesting because before it went so quickly that you didn't have to get so emotionally invested and be all like pitiful about it. So having a whole week to really dwell on stuff might be interesting. I'll have to pick up the social aspect, I suppose. I think I'm always good with challenges. That's my strength that I bring. I'm learning to stop complaining about my age. So there's that. So I won't bring all that to me. The newer people don't really know me because I was never interactive watching them. And the other people would have possibly played when I did the second chance game. And I think anyone that I had bad blood with during that time, we fixed right afterward. So I'm easy to get along with, right? So I'm really not a villain though. But if it got me in the game, I am not complaining. Although I just totally complained, right? But I'm finally going to have a fun fact besides a hedgehog. I am in like 15 minutes about to tap a maple tree in my yard, or attempt to tap it. So maybe I can bribe people to keep me around by promising them maple syrup and then hoping that I make more than like 1 ounce of syrup during the season. So yes, so here's your video. It's nothing like amazing, I'm sure, because I just feel so pressured right now. I'm excited. I really am excited for this. Thank God I got killed yesterday. Is that crazy? I was in this Hunger Games game.
I was like, what happened?
Over the weekend. And I guess we were all so damn good. I didn't die until like 3 in the afternoon yesterday. Crazy. And so I'm glad that doesn't open.
Mike's getting a glimpse to our group chat.
Thank God. Thank God she died.
And now
At 3:00.
Have all these challenges and gosh, I know you're not going to do any of the same stuff you've been doing because it's all predictable at this point. So I can't just be like, I'm going to pick number 9. I'm going to try and be number 9 in the Zoom, right? So we'll have to see how this works out. I'm looking forward to it. Don't be too harsh on me in the commentary, please. I am a little more sensitive than I seem. Guys.
Love it.
I like her a lot.
The best.
She's fun.
The best.
No, she's a villain because of her murder boards. Only villains do murder boards.
Murder boards. There's also she turned on Will when she was HOH in season in Second Chances. She turned on him. That is the most. She turned on her ally when she didn't need to, and that's number one thing to make you a villain. It was pretty epic. So
good.
That's why I tagged her as a villain. I think she's, again, kind of another really fun player. I think she does get very cerebral about the game. She'll try to map out all the relationships, figure out who knows who. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a wall on her board on her wall with all the strings and the tacks. And stuff. Like she's going to do that. And interestingly enough, right? So she mentioned the connection with Susan. She also we did Hannah's birthday party, right? So she knows Joe through that. Christina has a lot of connections, kind of all over this cast. So I think it could be really interesting between her season, her time on Second Chances, some other orgs that she's done. She knows a lot of things. She has a lot of information. So
yeah, do you think she'll be using that information night 1? Do you think she'll start throwing people under the bus right away?
I don't know. Could be. I kind of equated Christine to like a Jerry. That's what I said in here.
Love it.
Right? A little bit of an older cougar, right? Claims she's not a villain or she's bad at being a villain, but turned on an ally like Jerry did to Rob, and she made some decisions there, and then turned on Danielle and kind of worked with Russell. That's kind of where I was with her. She's an older school player. I think she's kind of a dark horse in this. I think, like she said, I think she could float, let all the chaos happen around her, and she can kind of float underneath and make her way through. All right. Up next, one of my favorites. Back from season 1 and Second Chances, we have Dylan.
Oh.
So let's hear what Dylan has to say. I just want to make sure the sound is all the way up. All right.
Hello, Justin. It is I, Dylan the villain.
Oh.
Play your silly little game. This is my 3rd time playing. The The first time I played, I was the first juror because I screwed up a freaking idol play. I'm still mad about that. That I screwed up that idol play and that weird like cross tribal. If I just like played a little bit bigger, I would have ran the whole thing. It's like I'm annoyed about that.
You would have.
I was voted at first because I was on a tribe with the same dirtbags who voted me out of the season. So all I'm saying is, if you're one of the dirtbags from my first season, you might be thinking, well, Dylan, I didn't vote you out when I was on your first season. Dirtbags.
Ashley.
Remember in Game Changers when Sandra was like, all she wanted was to take out the other winners. That's how I feel, except I'm a loser. So I just want to take out the other people from season 1.
Oh, no.
I don't care about winning. I don't care. Like, revenge. Revenge is the name of the game. Revenge. The dirtbags. What? Dylan. You lied too. You said some pretty mean things. Yeah. But I wasn't a dirtbag.
Oh, season 1.
Heroes versus villains. I'm definitely on the villain tribe because I talk a lot of smack. In the words of Sandra, because I guess she's the survivor character that I probably relate to the most. Last time I was mean. This time I'm going to be meaner because the other 2 times I had like an interest in winning, but I've been hurt too many times.
Oh no!
Story. This is. I'm not like another one of those like white dudes who looks like the Joker. Like, come on. I'm looking forward to it though. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'm excited to meet new people.
Everyone
that
from
is
season
Dylan.
1 get along.
Dylan is one of my favorites. He's just such a fun character to have in the mix. I kind of equate him to almost like a Tyson.
Yeah.
Kind of chaotic. Kind of is very funny and comical. He's witty. He's got that sense of humor that I think he utilizes that in the game. I think he could also be another one of those dark horses where if he can figure out how to change and adapt to this format, I think he has a good chance. And especially if he's going in without really trying hard to win, I think that might actually work in his favor. In some ways. I don't know. So, any thoughts on Dylan?
Dylan
a lot of you
might
guys don't know Dylan, so
he might steal my Leanne spot in my heart. Like I'm obsessed with him right now.
Yeah, no, he seriously, like if he had the numbers in season 1, he would have won. It was kind of like it was literally my original tribe versus his original tribe, and just mine had the numbers. But if he got the numbers, he would have won.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. He'll be a fun one to watch.
Yeah, he seems interesting.
Up next, an old school player who was not a part of season Second Chances, which is we haven't had one of those yet.
Oh yeah.
But back from season 3 is Kyle. Now, not a lot of people might remember Kyle.
I wasn't around for season 3.
Yeah, but Kyle is a really fun player. Kind of probably a similar vibe to Alan. In kind of just like how he plays, his style of play. I think he actually does know Alan through theater connections and things. Interesting backstories. He and Allison dated like ages ago, like 10, 15 years ago. So them seeing each other on this, I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know if they're still in touch and still friends. I have no idea what the dynamic is there. So that could be really, really interesting.
Whoa.
But I've got a little video from Kyle.
Okay.
Have Survivor ever done X's before?
I don't know. Well, I get Michelle and Wendell, right? Michelle and Wendell.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'm going to use the restroom really quick while he does this because I have to pee so bad. But I'll play this for you guys so you get to know Kyle.
Turn the volume up.
Oh.
Kyle Carlson, pregame thoughts. Heroes versus villains. First things first, I don't know if I'm a hero or a villain. I couldn't tell you. I think maybe a hero. I'm pretty awesome. So I think I'd be a hero. I'm a hero because I am loyal to the people that I'm loyal to. And the only time that I wasn't loyal to my alliance was when the last person left of my alliance was turning on me. I turned on them quicker. So when our alliance got voted out because of the situation that we were in, I turned on them before they could turn on me. And I made alliances with people that I had to make myself get further in the game. And then at the final 4, it was a tie vote. And unfortunately, I had more votes against me because of that other vote that I was just talking about.
Wow.
Now I remember him.
This one, I think I'm nervous. I'm excited. I don't know who's in it. You know, I'm sure.
Won't you find out?
I've followed along with a lot of these games. And I'm excited to play with people who played before and get my feet wet, you know, jump right in. I think I'm going to play very similarly to how I played last time. I'm going to make friends, talk to people, show them that I want to work with them and not against them. Try to keep the amount of relationships to a minimum. I don't want to have everybody thinking I'm talking to everybody, because you have to talk to everybody, but how much you talk to everybody is a different thing. And you don't want everybody thinking that you're in everybody else's camp. And I don't want to be one of those people, but I definitely want to at least have said hi to everybody. So there's never that.
That's good.
Like Kyle hasn't talked to me, so I'm going to vote him out. So having a conversation with everybody, yes, but how deep of those conversations go, I don't want to go too far, because I don't want to get myself intertwined in too much and feel like people have a reason to vote me out because I'm in too many different places. So yeah, just trying to play the middle and anybody but me, that's my strategy. That's always been my strategy. And it worked for me last time, Final Four. I'd love to have that same strategy work and just get me into the final three, because then I think I
think it cut off. I think all he just says is like he has a good shot if he can get to the end, and he's excited to come back. It was something like that. That was the rest of his video. But I'm actually really curious about your opinion on his strategy of kind of how much he'll connect and be social, Mike, because I feel like one of your strengths was your ability to connect with just about everyone and kind of having all those relationships. And I think that actually helped lead to your win, versus he's seeing it as like, I don't want to be connected with too many people and feel like that makes me a threat.
Yeah, it intrigued me because it for me, I think my personality, just jives well with like getting to know people, and I tend to just kind of talk people's ears, but also listen, like just like have them talk to me. Like that was the big strategy with Amanda. Like Amanda was the chaotic player, so I really bonded with her by just listening to what she had to say. So I think that if he can be more like genuine in those relationships, but know in his head like where his real strength in it, like which relationships are the strongest, I think he'll be okay. But to flip it the other way, like I don't know, like I think you're right. Like I think having more connections is always better, because you can always make those choices kind of later down the line. So if you start cutting people off too quickly, it could end up backfiring on you.
Yeah. All right. You know him. You love him. We have Polo back.
I was hoping.
Season 5.
Yes. Yes.
Once I saw Chanel, I was like, I hope Polo was there.
I see the crown.
Here is
he is overdue for a crown.
I bet you thought.
Oh my God. I have been waiting to play this game again.
Yes.
Last time I played, I got third, and I was a huge villain. So it only makes sense that I got brought back for Heroes vs. Villains. Justin, I know you're really going to see the same energy you got from me last time, maybe a little bit more refined, and that's exactly my plan. Going into this, I really don't know what to expect. I think last time it was kind of like very cut and dry. Like we made an alliance at the beginning and we rode it all the way to the end. Obviously, there were some hurdles. There were some twists that kind of got in the way, but I don't know if that plan is going to work for me again. So I have a lot to think about. There have been 7 seasons so far, maybe 8. The one that Melody just won, I think it was season 8. But there have been plenty of people to pick from. But I'm sure
he knows Melody won.
5 is going to get a lot of representatives. There are definitely some people who I would be happy to see, and people who I would not be happy to see. Obviously, Chanel is somebody who I definitely do not want to see on this cast, but I feel like is going to be there. Me and Chanel were number 1 out game, but she hates me. She got the final 2 with Becca. I thought she bombed Final Tribal Council, didn't vote for her. And when she figured that out, she was pretty pissed. And when she asked me if I was going to take it to the end, I said no, because I wasn't. Like I think I could have beat Becca at Final Tribal, but then again, she did really well, so who knows. But there was no way I was going to sit next to Chanel. She had a good game, and she potentially could have beaten me, at least from the perspective that I had going into it. But if I see her there, she is going to drag my name through the mud. She's going to tell everybody not to trust me, that I'm a snake, blah, 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 which is like true, but I'd rather work with her than against her, but I don't think that's really feasible. Another person I would not want to see is Jennifer. Jen was an ally of mine until we all decided to cut her because we thought she was a liability. I feel like she deserves another chance. So from a viewing perspective, I would love to see her. But as Polo, I do not want to see her there at all. Another person I don't want to see is Kayla. Kayla is probably the person who I lied to the most in season 5. And she would not want to work with me. I don't think she would be as emotionally vindictive against me, but she just would not trust me because she wouldn't have a reason to. But there's some people who I'd love to see. If Trey's there, we are writing to the end. If Trey is in this game,
what about Trey's mom?
If he wants me as his number 1, I'm gonna make it happen. I imagine he would be a hero though, so I might have to wait till swap to get to see him if he's playing. I would love to see Rachel. Rachel is somebody who I've played a mini called Summit with. We also just played an org called Utopia, and we were very close allies until the rest of my alliance blindsided her without me knowing. And so I think that there would be a lot of trust there. She knows I'm sneaky, and I know she's sneaky, so I feel like that would be a decent.
Love Rachel.
Us, like having faith that obviously the other is going to try to make some moves, but knowing that it's better to work with that person than against them. Another person I'd like to see is Michael. Michael is somebody who is kind of like my rival in season 5, but he's really fun, and I think that he wouldn't hold it personally. If he saw me in the game, I think he would try to reach out and make an alliance. I think he would be a hero, but maybe his like sassy nature would like make him a villain. I think everybody was rooting for him in our season, but I would love to see him there. Otherwise, I don't really know. Melody just won, so I don't think she's going to play again. But if she did, that would be fucking amazing because I was talking to her about my experience in Pandora, and I think that if she was playing, she would have a bigger target on her back than I did. I would because she won and I didn't. Otherwise, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing the field. Oh, if Steven's in the game, I would love to work with him too. Steven's a sweetheart. I feel so bad for not giving him as much priority as I meant to in our season, but I would love a chance to work with him. He's really cool. Like, and I think he like me has gained more experience since our season of Pandora, so that should be cool. Ultimately, I think I'm going to have a hard time finding my placement in the game. I think I would be able to work with the villains pretty well. Like, I think I could survive up until the first swap. But as soon as swap comes, I don't think there's any way I don't have at least a decent target on my back just because there's going to be somebody on the Heroes tribe from season 5. And I think they're going to use my name as a way to create trust with other people, going down the list of saying who they think you could trust and who that you couldn't. And I think I would be somebody that people would say you couldn't trust. But which is kind of bullshit because I had my alliance and I just stayed loyal to my alliance the whole time. So maybe I'm just creating this narrative in my head because I think a lot of people during the game called me slimy and called me a liar, which is why I'm a villain. But if I'm working with you, you have nothing to worry about. It all depends on whether or not these people believe that, though. I think my game plan is just going to come in and be exactly honest about what happened, say who I know from the cast, like be very open with it. But
the title of the video.
A heavy priority on getting to know people who I haven't met yet. Because I think in a game like this, you're going to be able to put the pieces together on who knows who, maybe who's mad at who. Obviously, there might be some connections outside of Pandora that wouldn't be unearthed, but there would be connections that people who played with them would be able to tell me. This game is going to be all about information, and it's going to be all about navigating Pandora's box the right way. I could get screwed by opening Pandora's box incorrectly, but I think I have to take every single chance that I get until I get an idol, because that first swap, whether it's a standard tribe swap or whether it's what happened in season 5 with me swapping places with, what was his name? Z? I don't remember his name. But if it's tribe member swapping, I think the moment I put on a tribe,
what did he call him?
Regional heroes, I'm fucked. So I would really love to have an advantage there. And maybe I could even be upfront about it. Hey,
Azim? Is that what it is?
Using it.
Can you go back?
No way I can guarantee.
So long, we can't go back.
I am hoping that I'm able to navigate the advantages well. I got an idol last time, and my allies all had idols, so that made our road a little bit easier to navigate. Ultimately, this is going to be really fun. I don't think I'm going to play as villainous as I did last time, at least in the early stages. In the early stages, I'm going to be a little bit more honest than I need to be so I can establish a reputation and have people potentially trust me. So when I do need to make a move, maybe backstab somebody, I have the backup to do it. This is going to be very interesting. I'm hoping that it goes well. I really don't want to go out early. I really want to have a chance to kind of link up with the heroes and see how that battle goes. But this is going to be fucking dope. I hope that you're rooting for me, Justin. I'm hoping that I can do a little bit better than last time and get this W. Peace.
Oh my gosh.
I'm back.
So that's Polo. We love Polo.
The best.
It's always a fun dynamic in the game.
I think I'm gonna like root to dislike him. Like I feel like I'm not going to like him. I'm gonna love him, but I'm gonna dislike him. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I kind of equate him to like a Boston Rob type character, which is very like I loathe Boston Rob in so many ways, but like not late, like early heroes versus villains and all stars Boston Rob like hate it, right? And like Boston Rob gets caught up in his lies a lot. He did in all stars, not as much in heroes versus villains, but you know, he's a dominant player, and in his first season, like he told a lot of lies. So I'd be interested to see the dynamic there.
Can I reveal something?
Sure.
We have our first merch.
Oh my god.
I love it.
That's so
great.
funny.
Okay.
Already.
All right. Up next, another old school player in the mix. We have Rye from season 2 and 4. So Rye's claim to fame and why he is on the Villains Tribe is that he lied to his entire tribe and said that his husband was upset that he was playing the game and he had to be voted out. So that he asked everyone to vote for him, and then he played an idol.
That's right.
To save himself. And because he was outnumbered on his swapped tribe, so he was like, "Guys, it's fine. Like my husband's really mad. Like I'm gonna go. Just vote me out." And then played an idol to keep himself in the game.
Wow,
amazing! That's what we were hoping people were doing last.
So Ashley was on that tribe with him, and when she said she was gullible, like she remembers that moment. She's like, "I know that guy's going to be in the game. I know he is." So it'll be interesting to see that dynamic if they ever come, cross paths here. How that plays, but he is definitely that's his villain moment of note.
Do you think we'll see more? Do you think we'll see?
Oh yeah, he's one of those just like kind of super devious, kind of like fun, kind of like a Dylan-ish type character. Like he's just like he's a big character in person.
The only problem is Ashley's going to tell people, or he did it season 4.
Yeah, with her, they were both there. Yeah.
Okay, so the season 4 people know.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Yeah.
All right. I hope we can get away with more stuff.
People will know. Up next might be the player I am most excited to see come back. It might be. I don't know. I'm so happy for so many people, but this one I'm really excited about because I couldn't let John be the only winner in the game.
Let's go.
So we have Sarah back from season 2.
Oh shit.
Her villain claim to fame is that she turned on TSL in the exact moment that she needed to take over the game and get to the end to win.
Yep.
And TSL being such an org legend and a live game legend and just so well known in the community, like for someone to turn on her the way she did, I mean, TSL respected it. She voted for her in the end. She said it was the right move, but like she did her dirty. She backstabbed her brutally. So excited to have another win in the game. I think she'll be a really dynamic force. I'm really hoping for both her and John's sake, like winners aren't targeted right away. Again, this first night, you're probably going to look for any excuse to vote somebody.
Yeah.
I think if they can both clear this first night, like they can, I think they can do well. But it really depends on how that first night goes, how, their relationships are built within their tribes. So it'll be really, really interesting, but I'm excited to have her back. Excited to have another winner in the mix to see how that goes.
Haven't seen her play since like April.
Yeah, she hasn't played in the new format, so it could be really, really interesting.
I love these mini players coming back.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
All right. Polo said he wanted it, so he has Steven back.
Oh my gosh.
So Steven is another one of those that's kind of an unassuming returnee, right? It's not somebody that necessarily comes to the forefront right away. But if you remember in season 5, the big chaotic first tribal we had where Katie was almost voted out but played an idol on herself was because of Steven. Like he caused all this chaos and tried to get Katie out right away. So we will hear a little bit from Steven. He sent 3 short videos. So I'm going to try to play
Stevenception.
I am so excited to be back for Pandora Survivor Heroes versus Villains. I had such a blast my first time. It was games, and I'm excited to
It's okay.
Ruthless as a villain.
That mustache screams villain.
Okay, that's it.
I don't always play as a villain. I think I had a villainous first round when I tried to get Katie out, and then after that wasn't too villainous. So maybe I'm on the wrong team. Maybe I really am super heroic. So I'm gonna have some fun playing into this villain side. I got out just before jury last time. A robbed king really was super mad about that. But we're going for the gold this time.
Yes.
To win it and to go the whole game. I've got a better grasp of what's going on. So let's do this.
That's Steven. Oh no. Can I get out of this?
Oh
God. Okay. So that's Steven. Steven's super fun. I actually played an org with him outside of the Pandora world. He's just a fun guy. When we played together, he was building alliances all over the place and trying to pull me into most of them. I don't know if all of them, but super fun, dynamic. Sorry, my puppy is having a moment right now. What are you doing? Hey, stop. So excited to have Steven back. It'd be interesting to see his dynamic with Polo, since Polo did name him somebody he'd want to play with again. Again, I wanted to try to get a mix of people who were late in the game, kind of middle of the game, and early in the game. And Steven's one that kind of is in that middle of the pack. Didn't quite make jury. I don't know if we really ever saw his full gameplay. So I'm excited to see how that might play out. Back from season 8.
Please tell me it's Stephanie.
Tony.
It is Tony.
Oh, yes.
Hey, Tony. I like the tube top you're wearing. Hey, Tony.
Willing. I'm very excited to be back as a
yes. Oh, Rob King Tony. He hates me though, but that's fine.
And I'm back again. That is right. It's a day before the premiere of Survivor Pandora Heroes versus Villains. And I'm back. I had a week off. And as you can see, I have my red buff and my red color palette. So I think you know what tribe I'm going to be on. I think I'm a villain because Matt and Brian were 2 of my biggest allies in last season. And I backstabbed and blindsided both of them. In addition to that, I also think I was just a little bit of a rascal in general.
Rascal.
Final reason, me, Darius, and Christina's choice to flip-flop kind of messed up the whole game for anyone not in the Aperon 4. And I think that had a big effect on how the season turned out. So I would definitely say that makes me a villain. This is a returning players season, and a big part of that is pre-game management. Whether you want it or not, sometimes it's going to happen. I've definitely heard a few names of people who might be coming back. Leanne might be one of them. Season 7. I heard Christina might be one of them. I know that Darius knows what the theme of the season is. He did not tell me he's coming back, but he might be. I would love to have Darius back. I'd love to have Christina back. And then Stephanie also messaged me this morning just to say hi and to say she was sad we didn't get to work together.
Stephanie!
It's suspicious considering what's happening tomorrow. But I do really like Stephanie and hope I can work with her too.
Oh my gosh.
This season, I need to play more under the radar. I like how I played my first episode last season, except maybe I'll do a little better with the challenges. Like throughout the whole season, I was like not very good at the challenges, and I didn't expect to be that bad at them. I had the hardest jigsaw puzzle night 1, so we have the same puzzles, which I don't know if we would. I'm not picking that damn firewood puzzle. And I think I'll be more like I'm like used to what we're doing, you know. Night 1, I want to play the same way, like not go to tribal at all. Night 2, so last season I dominated the first part of the game. Everyone who I wanted to go home, went home, and the people I told to vote did it. This season, pre-jury merge, I want to do the same thing, but more under the radar. Once we get to the merge, I need to be way more under the radar than I was before. I got so messy once I felt like I had the power, and I need to keep that in check. My name is Tony. And I'm going to be a Tony and win, not Heroes vs. Villains. He didn't win Heroes vs. Villains. He went home. But I will win Heroes vs. Villains. And then I'll win all winners like Tony. Bam.
Yes.
There we go. Bam.
So we have Tony back. I actually think like Tony is one of my early winner picks again. I feel like I said this last time, so I don't want to like jinx it, but I just feel like he's got the right mix where like if he can be self-aware of what he did wrong in his last season, like I think he's fresh enough that he can like make the changes and the tweaks that he has to make for the game. So I think he could do it. Like I think he also has one of those personalities that he attracts people. Like people want to work with him. They want to trust him. You know, I don't know. I just have a vibe about Tony that he could be a dominant player in this game in a different way than he was last time, and actually I think do really well. You know, I think when you look at the other, especially the other kind of male identifying players in this cast, like I feel like he can slide under the radar. Like he's not going to be, I think, as big of a, I don't want to say character, but as big of a strategic threat as someone like Dylan or Polo or maybe even Rai, right? Like I think he'll be able to hopefully pull back a little bit.
Well, and he has an advantage in the fact that a lot of these players haven't seen him play. So, so that kind of chaos that he created in season 8, nobody knows about.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting because I think, you know, everyone has been put on the Villains Tribe for a reason, right? So, and you're not always going to know what that reason is, but you just got to be wary that someone else is there. And then lastly on our Villains Tribe, a little bit of a controversial pick as well. We will see how it goes. But I'm excited. It's a 2-time finalist, but never a winner. We have Val back from season 3 and 4. So Val made it to the end twice. She lost by 1 vote the first time. And actually, that's another reason why I put Kyle on the Villain Tribe, is Kyle is the only person from Val's original tribe that did not vote for her to win. And so he was basically the deciding vote that got Jessica the win.
Ouch.
And everybody else on Val's original tribe did vote for her to win. So when he did say that to me before his video, he's like, yeah, that was kind of a villainous thing to do. So we'll hear a little bit from Val.
Woo!
For those of you that don't know Val.
Me.
I'm back. It's been a little while. And I'm excited. I'm nervous. But I'm ready. But mostly I'm scared that I'm not going to make it through this first night. But I will.
Yeah, you will.
I will. Yeah. Some trouble.
Oh my god, I
And
can't.
then I'm going to cause some trouble. That's the answer.
What are some pauses right there?
Clearly, she knows how to play though, because to get to the end twice.
She's gone to the end twice. So I'm going to.
In second chances too.
So here's our entire.
Oh man.
Should be a really, really interesting group. And from Val, really quick, I just want to touch on Val. So
yeah,
like it's obviously not as extreme, but I kind of like bucket her in the Russell Hantz kind of heroes versus villain profile. Made it to the end twice, and I think where she really falls short is connecting with the jury and her jury management and being able to like break through and connect with them. And that's Russell's biggest thing. And Russell has no clue what jury management is. Val, I think, is not obviously that bad.
Yeah.
But that's where she's fallen short. I think in both tribals, like she hasn't been able to like articulate her story well and manage the jury and again, kind of read the room of what they want to hear and give that to them, which I think both Jess and Matt were able to do. There's no reason she shouldn't have been able to find a way to finagle Kyle's vote that last tribal. Like call him out, say that she apologized for backstabbing him, whatever it is. Excited to have Val back. Again, I wanted to try to keep as even a balance of kind of old school players and new school players as I could. So I think we've got a pretty good mix of players from across all 8 seasons. There are only like a few. I will say it was recruiting female identifying players, especially female identifying villains, was challenging. It was very challenging.
You got some great ones.
But we got some really good ones. I'm really excited about this group. There's only 1 or 2 people that I really, really wanted back that I didn't get. Maria was one from season 1.
Yeah, I was hoping to see her tonight.
She would have been so great. She has a very complicated schedule right now, but she is down to play down in the future, which I'm excited about. Ty from season 5, was it season 5 or 6? I can't remember.
6.
Season 6 was quite the villain his season.
Why do I not
obviously
remember Ty?
Ty Howell, Sequester Ty.
Oh my god, duh, yes.
Yeah. And had I known like how the end of season 8 would have gone, I probably would have pulled James on.
I was hoping to see James.
I had no idea. Like I didn't know till that last episode.
No,
asked this like a couple weeks ago. I had no idea like what a villain everyone would have made him out to be, or I would have definitely tried to pull him in as well. So players for future seasons. But
bring him in the first episode. Let him do a little speaking point about being a villain. Hey guys, I'm a snake.
But outside of that, I pretty much got everybody that I really, really wanted. There's tons more people I probably could have pulled onto the cast. People like Katie, like Trey. There's so many people. Brandon, Josh, who had the mute gate for the jury, right? There's so many players that I could have pulled back. And I wanted to bring some old school, some of that middle pack that haven't played again since 5 or 6. Some of these last season players. And I'm really happy with it. I think it'll be a really interesting cast. We've got some really hard strategists. We've got some of those kind of under the radar middle social players. We have some people that are probably way in over their heads, and I'm really curious to see kind of what they make of this cast. But it should be really, really fun.
I mean, the mini players, night 1, they're going to be totally. It's not going. Night different. 1 is not out of their element. It's when the week between. That's going to be where it's different. Which they'll be fine, but Yeah, I'm really excited. And I guess I could reveal now that
someone has an idol.
There's going to be 4 tribes of 6. So it'll be 2 hero tribes and 2 villain tribes.
I mean, I like to hear that because of these connections.
Yeah.
So the reasoning there is to break up as many of the connections as possible. Now, so like the heroes on season 6, right? There are 4 of them, so there will be 2 on each tribe, right? So there's not a lot I can do about that dynamic. There's going to end up being somebody, but I did my best as much as I could to break up as many connections as possible. I obviously can't break them all up, but obviously like Christina and Tony will be on different tribes as season 8 players, right? I'm going to break up as many of those relationships as I can. In some places, maybe I did force some conflicts that I want to see, but for the most part, I did separate as much as I could to make it as an even playing field and as fair a game as possible. The connections that I know of, like John and Leanne, they will be separated, right? Like I'm gonna.
But also, like you have to separate Joe and Leanne. I mean, Joe and John, which means Joe and Leanne.
So
Leanne got custody of Joe.
Joe knows he can't get rid of Leanne. Well, no, he'll do what's best for his game, but
Yeah.
he knows we're good.
Wait, can we see these tribes?
No, you'll be able to see them tomorrow night on the premiere of Pandora: Heroes versus Villains. So that'll be exciting. I'll also reveal another little twist. So playing off of the theme of Heroes versus Villains and the most iconic moment from that season of JT giving away his idol to Russell. Every time someone opens Pandora's box, they have to give it to someone on the opposing tribes. So heroes have to give Pandora's box items to villains, and villains have to give Pandora box items to heroes.
Wow.
So we'll see how those cross-tribal connections will also factor into the game. There will be ways for people to earn idols as they normally would, but anything Pandora's box related will have to be given to
It's not Pandora's advent calendar.
No.
Okay.
No.
That was a special.
Season 8 way
special.
too many. Way too many to manage. So we are gonna. And I do like. I think there's a lot of great game players here, and so I do want to scale it back a little bit. There still will be some advantages and powers and idols and stuff in the mix as always. But I think last year we had way too many, and I think I want to scale it back a little bit and let the strategy run the game as much as we can here, and let these relationships play out, and let the social factor be as much as important as all the idols and advantages and all that stuff. So obviously with 24 people, you can expect many double tribal councils, drags, 2 people out at one tribal, right? We got to get rid of these people fast. So
don't drag Megan.
Oh my gosh. That's all we need. Don't drag Megan. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So there will be plenty of bloodshed this first night.
I'm nervous.
We'll see how that plays out. It's one of those things where it's one of those casts where I really don't want to see anybody.
No, we already went through this last season.
Yeah, every vote out will be a hard one. There are a couple people that I want to see how they're going to play, but I don't know if they're going to be able to kind of survive in this pool of sharks. Like I think there are just so many strong players and strong gamers. I wonder if they'll be able to break through. So those might be kind of the first boots, or all these big threats are going to go after each other, and it's just going to be a bloodbath, I feel like, in some ways. So we'll see who makes it through that chaos. But I'm really excited.
Oh man,
I'm really, really excited.
4 tribes. That's a lot to handle for
4
you.
tribes, lots to handle. So we'll see how it plays out.
Yes.
Very exciting season. We'll see how it goes. I think all the dynamics, it's just like it's too hard to even. It's hard to even predict. It's hard to predict.
This is so exciting. This lived up to the hype.
Yeah, I think it will. I hope it will live up to the hype.
Oh yeah.
I hope. God, I just hope like no one's like, I hate that person, I quit.
No.
I hope that's not the case.
Well, I think that's what's fun about a dynamic like Heroes versus Villains is you're going to be with people that clearly you didn't work well with.
Right. Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm hoping a majority of the cast will be a surprise to others. I'm hoping they're not talking about it. I've asked them all to and sworn them to secrecy, but somehow it's leaking, I guess, a little bit here and there.
Why did Stephanie reach out to Tony?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's funny. Which is weird. But I am going to get her back. I would love to do like a Gone Too Soon season with a lot of our favorite players that got out too early. And she's definitely one of them. Should I do it?
Reveal.
I'll do a little reveal. So next season 10 will be a fans versus favorite season.
Oh,
and I have pretty much all of my favorites already cast.
Oh my gosh,
Maria.
I don't think it's going to be Maria.
I'm a fan of Maria. Cast me next season.
It's a little different dynamic than the fans versus favorite of Real Survivor, because obviously a lot of them won't know. So it's really going to kind of be like more like champions versus contenders, or that kind of concept.
Yeah.
First time players versus returners. So really excited about that batch.
Yay!
I've sworn them all to secrecy, so if any of them tell you, I will kill them. But it's going to be a really, really fun.
Are we going to see a little Julia Gabbert?
I can't reveal.
I just have
anything.
a feeling we're going to see a Julia Gabbert.
I can't reveal anything, but I think it will be a great cast reveal. I cannot wait. So that'll be good. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to splurge.
Do we have a cameo from someone on Heroes vs. Villains?
Is someone gonna jump into Zoom?
We might.
We might.
I don't know.
That's the best part.
I got 24 hours to figure it out.
I have an economics test I have to survive first.
Real life Survivor.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I think that's it. So we should stop the recording at any point.
Yeah, well, all right. Well, we'll see what happens. Stay tuned, future people watching. All right, bye everyone.